Hey, there we are on Brunch with Brian Live. And today I wanted to talk about uh, actually being accountable, holding yourself accountable. Are there people that hold you accountable in your life? And if so, who are they? And instead of resenting them, you should be grateful for them. And this is all about holding yourself accountable. So obviously, if you're going to hold yourself accountable, you need to know exactly what you're accountable for. And I'll tell you, the biggest thing where people fall down on accountability is their time management. A lot of times people have terrible time management, or they have an opportunity to get some real estate investing work done, make some calls, and they don't use that time well. So holding yourself accountable on completing your schedule. What is my secret to success? It's not such a secret because I keep repeating it. Stick to the steps, stick to the scripts, and stick to your schedule. And so your schedule is so vital, and I want you to make sure that you're sticking to your schedule at every, make your schedule. But if you don't set the schedule, that's the other part of it. So you got to create your schedule at least 5 hours a week, maybe as many as 10 hours a week. If you're retired and you can spend more time, great. So making that schedule, posting it, signing it, and then holding yourself accountable to put that time in. That's the biggest secret. I mean, if you don't do that, you have no chance. And so that's where most people actually fail. They don't put in the hours because guess what? It's new. They're not used to it. They're a little anxious about getting on the phone. They put it off. They procrastinate, and then they don't stick to their schedule, and they drift away from real estate. I've seen it happen, so I don't want it to happen to you. And so, what do you need to do? You need to stick to your schedule. That's the biggest thing that you need to hold yourself accountable for. Then you need to hold yourself accountable for the right behaviors, the right KPIs, key performance indicators. I don't have time to go into every key performance indicator I want you guys to be at least aware of and tracking. But the biggest things are calls and deal meetings. How many closing calls do you make a week? How many sellers are you talking to per week? And then how many deal meetings? How many actual properties are you going out to see and talking to how many sellers at the property? So that's two of the main KPIs I want you to be aware of. Now, I want you to make at least 10 calls to sellers every week, and you'll need to call buyers once you have properties for sale. So that'll come kind of naturally. But you always got to keep that rhythm of calling 10 sellers a week, or else your buying machine will grind to a halt. So that's the most important KPI. And you know what? Even if you're not closing a lot of deals, if you stick to your KPIs, you should feel good about yourself. Now, if you're sticking to these KPIs and months go by and you don't close a deal, you need to talk to me. Something's going on. You're sabotaging yourself somehow. So stick to the KPIs. If you were talking to 10 sellers a week, going and seeing one property a week, that's a good goal to hold yourself accountable for. So let's talk about that more on Teaching Tuesdays today. It's Teaching Tuesdays. Today I'm going to talk about holding yourself accountable in all areas of your life and what you need to be accountable for. Okay. And then a little bit grander look at it. What's your expectations of your life? What were your expectations growing up? What were your expectations of your parents for you? So that's all important stuff to look at, because that is what you're holding yourself accountable to sometimes. And sometimes that stuff's wrong. Sometimes you're holding yourself accountable for stuff you don't even care about. And so you got to get that stuff out of your life as well. So that can be very frustrating and aggravating when you're holding yourself accountable to some past ghosts of expectations of somebody who's dead and gone. So that's another important factor here that we'll talk about more on Teaching Tuesdays. So always be on Teaching Tuesdays. That's 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern time coming up today. Get to hear me and Lynette teaching this great topic. So this is really important. Hey, good morning, JPEG and Lori. Awesome to see you guys. I will see you guys on Teaching Tuesday later today. So our affirmation for today is I hold myself accountable. Okay, and then we'll do our deep breathing. So we always say our affirmation 3 times on 3. So I hold myself accountable on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I hold myself accountable. I hold myself accountable. I hold myself accountable. Yes, we'll talk more about that today. So let's do our deep breathing. Nice deep breath in. Always put a smile on your face. You can do deep breathing from sitting or standing. Nice deep breath in. And one more, relax. So invigorating. Okay, so guys, I will see you later on Teaching Tuesdays, and then we'll be back on Thursdays for Brunch with Brian. Remember, Wednesdays is the only weekday that we miss. So I'll see you guys back on Teaching Tuesdays, 7 p.m. tonight Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific, for more incredible training. Otherwise, until I see you next on Brunch with Brian, keep expecting success, getting awesome training, and of course, doing what?